Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Virtues to Happiness series. All right, so today we're going to do chapter 7 on chastity. This is a long forgotten virtue, so easily broken that it needs to be packaged with a fragile sticker. Yes, it's chastity. This is the virtue of the courageous. Consider being chaste as number 1, purity of heart, living clean, free from lust. Number 2, living self-control, particularly of the bodily instincts. And number 3, order of the passions, all lived to a heroic degree. Forget about earthquakes, tsunamis, and atomic explosions. These do not compare to the potent force of bodily attractions that stem from the heart and enter through the senses. It is no doubt that we have passions that are oftentimes very potent, but as creatures of poor flesh, oftentimes there is a disconnect between our passions and our reason. We more often than not are a slave to our bodily cravings and blind to the person we are seemingly attracted to. Here's a question to consider. If we notice a random beautiful creature walking down the street, on a billboard, or on the internet, are we really interested in the dignity of that other human being? Would you consider giving your life for that person? If so, it would probably be difficult since you do not know anything about that person except their physical features. If our bodily appetite for another person is divorced from love, which is the complete gift of oneself, then the life of that person is disunited. In the short term, in fact, the very short term, the person who seeks intimacy with another person with selfish motives will receive brief bodily satisfactions, but will bring destruction to oneself and victimize the person loved. You cannot love another person if your own being is in disorder. I like to compare attractions of the heart to nuclear energy. If it is used for the right purposes and is carefully managed, it can serve as a great energy source. On the other hand, when it gets out of control, it can be the cause of one of the most devastating disasters known to mankind. I do not need to mention anecdotes of relationships gone wrong due to people being together for selfish motives. It is unfortunately quite prevalent in modern society that many couples do not stay together. Although there are cases which are quite complicated, I would still venture to say that 99% of the time it was due to lack of virtue of one or both spouses. Even though this may be the case, I like to consider the virtue of chastity to be something positive, not a laundry list of things to do, or even for people to see it as a warning sign. When chastity is lived, you will strengthen your character, having built up courage to overcome temptations. The person who lives this virtue will be able to focus in more on friendship and getting to know other people, because when your heart is not bound by the dreadful anchor of sensuality, you're able to sail on your way into the land of happiness, and you're able to notice other people in the world around you. It is the path of most people to marriage, and in order to have a happy and lasting marriage, there cannot be disorder between you and your body. Married couples can and should live conjugal chastity, meaning they create the carnal union with each other and no one else. In this manner, each is expressing their mutual self-gift. For those that live the single life, I would recommend making the gift of self by serving the others, which is manifested in various ways, in your job, family, community, society, etc. If a single person does not take on the challenge of making some contribution to society or to have given themselves to a cause, their hearts will go hungry and by default will turn to self-centered pleasures that will corrupt their poor hearts and will quickly degrade themselves. Many times people suffer from addictions to pleasure. Thus, there is a great necessity for people to guard their senses, and in doing so, they can avoid problems of the heart. 5 ways for someone to live the virtue of chastity are to: number 1, guard your eyes from looking at people who are inappropriately dressed or have outfits that expose too much. Number 2, avoid being in situations or events where temptations to give into lustful bodily satisfactions would arise. Number 3, consult the books, movies, and sources of media that you see and read. There's a lot of trash that people feed themselves with nowadays. Why allow it to come inside of you? Number 4, when in a relationship, focus in in on bringing out the best in the other person, and not to see the other person as an object of pleasure, but as someone of equal dignity as another fellow human being. Number 5, have a lot of friends and participate in noble activities that channel your energy towards positive goals. Thank you.